Welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that Florida sports fans want to hear. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. I am Mike Bianchi, the sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. That's Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports talk radio. Of course, the prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes, is making us sound good on the other side of the glass. We want to hear from you throughout the show. Text us on the Mills Air text line, 50857. Use that talk back line on the iHeartRadio app. Krabby Krabs, are you fired up about UCF season opener tonight?
I am pretty pumped. We got a semi-full slate of college football action tonight, but for us, the marquee, UCF versus Jacksonville State, the return of Scott Frost to the bounce house. We haven't seen him in that building as the head coach since 2017. A lot of emotions, a lot of different angles to talk about throughout the course of the show, but I'm excited to lock in. I have another in a 4-day stretch of fantasy football drafts tonight. I'm on a yesterday I had one, got one tonight that'll be happening simultaneously. So this is the peak of my existence. UCF football and a fantasy draft tonight and leftover pizza in the fridge.
All right, do we have a prize today?
Oh, do we ever? We have more Florida Gators tickets to give away as they take on Long Island University on Saturday night. We'll have tickets today, and we'll have a final pair to give away tomorrow as well. So we are getting some folks into the swamp on a college football Saturday, and you've thought of quite the text question to get us going today. Do you want to word this? I feel like I'm going to butcher this.
Yeah, it's based on the bizarre story happening over in Tampa with USF coach Jim Leavitt being arrested earlier this week. And I contend that Jim Leavitt is the most hated figure in UCF athletics history. We want to know, who is the most hated figure in your favorite team's history? The most hated figure in your favorite team's history. You can text that in 50857. Use that talk back line. Best response wins the Gators tickets. So get those responses in. Let's do some highlights and headlines right now, though. You mentioned it, Krabs. The Scott Frost era take 2 begins tonight as UCF hosts Jacksonville State. I don't think anybody knows what to expect from UCF this year. The Knights have 70 new players on their roster. They've been picked to finish last in the Big 12 this year by a panel of media experts. Let's hear what Frosty has to say.
Appreciate about UCF and always have is there's a little bit of a chip on your shoulder attitude here, and there was when I was here the last time. So I think the kids are embracing the fact that nationally there's not a lot expected of the group, and I think that's been a motivation for them. So they're going to get their chance to take the first step to prove people wrong on Thursday.
All right, so we'll delve deeper into what the expectations and what should be the expectations for UCF later. But the expectations for this game in general, UCF has won 10 straight season openers. They've also won 10 straight Thursday night games. UCF, what are they, a 20.5-point favorite in this game, I believe?
Yep.
I don't know. UCF's obviously, I think they're going to win. I don't know that they're going to come out and mow down Jacksonville State, Krabs.
Well, the money pouring in on UCF just yesterday, they were 18.5-point favorites. So hopefully if you wanted UCF, you took the bet yesterday and didn't wait until closer to kickoff today. I think we are going to see a lot of points tonight. I'm not sure about this UCF defense. I'm even less sure about Jacksonville State. Last year, They put up some points. They ranked number 6 in the country in terms of points per game in FBS. They were 65th overall in defense and 80th in opponents' yards per game. I don't think this is a very good team. When they went up against competition outside of Conference USA last year, they struggled in a big way. And this is one thing of all the unknowns with UCF. We could say that every year. There's so much turnover in college football. We haven't known what to expect going into the year for UCF in years.
But 70 new players. UCF has 70 new players this year. By the way, Jacksonville State has 51 new players under their new coach, Charles Kelly. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, we don't know what Florida State's going to be like this year. We have a pretty good idea what the Gators will be like if DJ Lagway stays healthy. But we'll get into more of this UCF game coming up on our main topic of the day. Orlando City goes down 3-1 last night in the Leagues Cup semifinal against Inter Miami, and Lionel Messi, who scored twice in his return to Inter Miami's lineup. Orlando City feels they were robbed, Krabs. An obvious foul in the box on Orlando City's Ivan Angulo was ignored by referee Walter Lopez. It wasn't even reviewed by the video replay. Not only that, but the Lions led the match until they were reduced to 10 men in the 77th minute when David Brecalo was judged to have committed a foul inside the box. That was his second yellow card. He goes out. Miami scores a quick goal and then two more to take the game. Orlando City, Oscar Pereira, not happy with the officiating last night.
But it was a bunch of actions that you all see. And I'm going to just let it to you guys to judge and evaluate that performance. Those actions that were very precise, that changed the game. And you guys know which actions.
Kravitz?
Yeah, there's a bunch of fanboys refereeing MLS games or Leagues Cup games, and I don't think that this surprises anybody. This is why I appreciate professional wrestling. At least the WWE admits that their product is fake. Soccer acts like this is real, and then they tilt the rules towards the stars, the fanboys that are out there trying to push Inter Miami along. I hate Orlando City whiners, but today is your day, Orlando City faithful, because you're right. I mean, I'm not even a soccer expert, Mike, and I could see that there was a foul on a play on an Orlando City player that wasn't called and a ghost foul on an Orlando City player against Inter Miami, all in an effort to get Inter Miami back into the game that Orlando City was dominating.
Nobody whines. Nobody whines about officiating more than soccer players, soccer coaches, and soccer fans.
I completely agree with that, but in this scenario, they are correct.
Okay. All right. Franz Wagner celebrated his birthday in a big way yesterday in a Euro basketball victory on the same day as his birthday. The Franz rocked up 22 points, 8 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 9 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 2 steals as he leads Germany to a 106-76 win in their Euro basketball opener over Montenegro, and Nick Vucevic, who had 23 points for Montenegro. Kravitz, the Franz leading the way. Franz is going into his 5th year this year. We know he's one of the best young players in the NBA, but is he entering a 5th season now? Is this the year he goes from being good young player to all-star?
Yeah, I think it is. I think he was well on his way last year, and then he got hurt, and that took him out of the running. The tough part's going to be getting him and Paolo Banchero in there, but there are other teams. The Cavs had multiple players that made it into the All-Star game last year, so why not? Franz is a phenomenal player, criminally underrated in NBA circles, and he's like the Michael Jordan of Eurobasket. This guy is awesome overseas, and I think we're going to get another special year from him.
By the way, another Magic player, Tristan da Silva, who's a native of Munich, Germany, also played for Germany. He recorded 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. Franz's brother, who we all love, and the rest of the NBA hates, he did not play last night. Obviously, he's recovering from the ACL. I think he was there, though, was he not?
Oh, I'm sure that he was. I mean, he's always supporting his brother, and he loves being part of the German team. So, yeah, it would be a surprise if he wasn't involved in some way.
No question. Those are your headlines and highlights.
I cannot wait to dig into this. The return of Scott Frost and the debut of the magician, Cam Fancher. We're going to talk about all of that next, right here on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Football games are won and lost in the fourth quarter, and the same could be said for real estate. And right now, we're heading into the fourth quarter of the year. And if you've been thinking about selling your home, now is a winning time to do it. More buyers are entering the market, and homes in Central Florida are selling for 6% more and twice as fast when listed with who? The Nickley Group. That's who. These guys are the number one real estate team in Central Florida for a reason. They don't just stick to one game plan. They got multiple strategies, including their guaranteed cash offer. Get a cash offer within 24 hours. No showings, no hassle. Close fast or list on the open market and still cash in on historically high equity. Whatever your play, they've got you covered. For a guaranteed offer on your home, visit thenickley.com.
Let's talk about my go-to AC service. Of course, I'm talking about Mills Air. You know, whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or a downright emergency that you're dealing with, yes, Mills Air will come out at night and on the weekends. They make sure that your home is comfortable and that your energy bill is affordable all season long. And they've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners since 1992. Don't wait until the fourth quarter. Call Leon and the crew to schedule your appointment and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159, and online at millsair.com.
Traffic's getting by a little bit better now on I-4 westbound, heading over St. John's River Bridge. Emergency crews have moved off to the shoulder there. Traffic still backed up a ways. Travel with caution. There's a crash blocking multiple lanes on State Road 46 eastbound at Orange Avenue. Some of your familiar delays are starting to pile up on the major roadways this afternoon, so travel with caution. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
It's your boy Mario Lopez here with some inside scoop. Staples has school supplies as low as 25 cents. Your back to school budget, saved by the button, the easy button. What do you think I was going to say? Love me some Staples. That was easy.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
Just because an injury doesn't show up on an x-ray doesn't mean it isn't real. We know doctors that specialize in whiplash, sprains, strains, and tears. They can help us prove your pain is real and fight for your future medical needs.
Farrah and Farrah.
Orlando. Get Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like Whirlpool that can keep up with your busy routine. Whirlpool refrigerators from the Home Depot have the storage and ice capacity for everything from school lunches to stocking coolers for sports practice. Celebrate Labor Day with savings on select appliances at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 21st through September 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
We want everyone to enjoy their Labor Day weekend, so please use rideshare or a designated driver. A DUI will absolutely change your life. Don't drink and drive. From your friends at iHeartMedia and Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
I'm Burt Ward, Robin from TV's Batman, inviting you to feed natural, non-GMO Gentle Giants canned dog and puppy food and Gentle Giants canned cat and kitten food, prepared with fresh meats, fresh fruits, and fresh vegetables that can make a huge difference in taste and nutrition for your dog and for your cat. Our 27-and-a-half-year-old wolfhound, Kara, has lived more than triple her normal lifespan, eating only Gentle Giants dry dog food mixed with Gentle Giants canned dog food. At Petco, Stater Brothers, H-E-B, and more.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
We are Orlando Sports Leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I'm Dan. He's Ty.
Hello.
And we're the Solid Verbal College Football Podcast.
Tune in for previews, recaps, bits you won't hear anywhere else, and all the emotional support you need as a college football fan.
Join us all season long as we ride the roller coaster of this ridiculous sport.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search the Solid Verbal College Football Podcast, and listen now.
We don't just love college football, Ty. We live it.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
It's a wait and see. They definitely have the schedule to rack up another 10-win season, but do I expect any greatness from Miami?
No, this is the year.
Okay.
This is the year. This is the year. I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship. They're finally going to win the ACC.
If they just make it to the ACC championship game, it would be an improvement. They're never there.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Is today the day you're making 96.9 The Game number one? Your number one preset, that is. What are you waiting for? Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search 96.9 The Game, and click Preset.
All the controversy, news, trades, and scores. Stay in the game on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free at 969thegame.com.
The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Your new favorite afternoon sports talk radio show in the state of Florida, Game On, rolls along. AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and right here in sunny Orlando, Florida on FM 96.9 The Game, streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. An important detail to tonight's game, Mike, for those attending and for those that are on the over, is are we expecting rain tonight? 35% chance.
No.
7, 40% at 8, 40% chance in Central Florida, Mike. That's nothing. That's basically zero.
As long as there's no lightning to delay the game, okay? It can rain all at once. I have to cover the game for the Orlando Sentinel. I don't want to be sitting through rain delays and getting home at 3 o'clock in the morning tonight.
You mean you get to cover the game for the Orlando Sentinel? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to covering the game. Yeah.
You just don't want to sit there for an extra 4 hours. We can respect that. So when you said no, that was more of a wishful no, not a weatherman no, when I said that there would be rain potentially.
Oh, that was definitely a wishful no.
Okay,
I have no idea whether.
30,
Although it
30%.
did not rain at the Coke Zero 400. Didn't even come close to raining. It usually pours at that event, and that event went on without a hitch on Saturday. So I'm thinking the UCF game will follow suit tonight.
Right. Okay. Well, 30% chance of rain, 100% chance of touchdowns. So we'll see that's how many of those we get tonight. UCF season opener, the return of Scott Frost, the debut of the magician Cam Fancher. Exciting times. We are going to dig in to the storylines that occupy the night momentarily. We also have Florida State radio voice Jeff Colhane joining the show for the first time, talking about the Noles big opener against Alabama. That is in about 15 minutes. But before we hit you with today's top story, Mike, it's time for today's daily coach lesson of the day. I think I'm changing the verbiage of this because of what we're delivering here. This is motivational stuff, inspirational stuff. And today's lesson from the Daily Coach newsletter is this, and it comes from Michael Jordan, so you know it's good. What does greatness actually demand? What sacrifices do champions make? Do you ever wonder what Michael Jordan's secret was? What made Michael Jordan so much better than everybody else? Well, he has shared that wisdom, and this is what he said. He said that what he paid most attention to in his career were his practice habits. He watched other guys practice, and he asked himself, what is my competition giving up? When is my competition giving up? And he would put himself into a state of exhaustion and push beyond the point where his competitors were giving up, so that he was always better and more prepared than everybody else. Simply put, he would ask himself, we're all the best of the best at what we do. What am I doing differently that they are not doing? And that's what made him special.
Practice like nobody's watching. Stan Van Gundy told me one time when he was coaching the Magic, Otis Smith, the former GM, got a call from Kobe Bryant, who was in Orlando with his family staying out at Disney. Okay. And he wanted to practice while he was here. So he asked Otis Smith, hey, can I use you guys' practice facility while I'm here? I'll get there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll be gone by the time your guys, want to be there. And that's what he did. All the days he was at Disney, gets up, drives all the way to the Orlando Magic practice facility at RDV, drives back before his family even gets up in the morning, and boom. That's why Kobe was great.
Yep. Look at what your competitors are doing in whatever field you're in. See how far they go. Push 2 steps further, and then you'll win at whatever you do. Our top story today, Frost's return to the bounce house. Mike, it has been 7 years since Scott Frost last coached inside of the walls of what is now called Acrisure Stadium. In fact, the last time he coached at that building, it was for the AAC title against Memphis to finish that miraculous undefeated season. Here's the interview, the walk-off interview with ESPN sideline reporter Todd McShay right after the game.
I'm so happy for these guys. That's impossible what they've done, and I'm glad I could help them do it. We've given them a lot. They've given us even more.
See, obviously very emotional right now. What are you thinking?
I want to go celebrate with my team.
All right. Okay, one question before you go. The multiple reports, and I hate to ask, but multiple reports that you've accepted the Nebraska job. Can you tell me anything about that?
I'm going to go celebrate with my team.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
And that was it. And he walked off. He wound up coaching the bowl game, but that was it for his time in Orlando, was that conversation right there. And now he's back tonight. And when you really think about that, the full circle nature of it, Mike, tonight is historic in that way.
It's historic. It's euphoric. It's for UCF fans. It's going to be emotional. I asked Scott Frost at his press conference on Monday, does he foresee himself getting emotional when he runs out on the field? And he said, probably not at that moment, but there will be a time when I look around and I'm emotional, and he will be. This is his homecoming. He never wanted to leave in the first place. We know that. Now we know he shouldn't have left in the first place. So yeah, it's gonna be man, just listening to him, how he got emotional after that Memphis game makes me think about right before that Memphis game. Do you remember when he came on the radio on our show?
Oh yeah. That was,
you remember?
that was the most emotional interview I think I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, and he essentially told Orlando goodbye that day and what Orlando meant to him, what UCF meant to him. And we all knew at that point he was gone because he was pretty much telling everybody on the radio that day. So, yeah, it's going to be, I hope UCF looks good. I hope it's a fun night. I don't want any, sloppy, UCF goes down to the end and has to pull out a victory. I hope they blow them out tonight and UCF fans get a show.
Same. I think they can beat the brakes off of this Jacksonville State team, a team that ranked near 100th in defense last year. And Frosty wants to make a statement with his play calling and some offensive aggression. So, Mike, I'm expecting a lot of points, and I think UCF is going to win by a lot here tonight. We'll continue to break it down throughout the course of the afternoon. Up next, what do the Noles have cooked up for the Crimson Tide on Saturday? FSU play-by-play voice Jeff Colhane joins the show next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
In football, special teams can change the game. A big return, a block kick, a perfect punt that pins the other guys deep. In your financial life, special teams are the unexpected plays as well. Sudden market drops, inflation spikes, or policy changes after an election. That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. They're constantly monitoring the field, ready to adjust your plan so you can protect, maintain, and grow your wealth no matter what comes your way. I've got my own special team now after moving my old 401k and other assets into a portfolio Trajan built just for me. Founder Jeff Jr. is a Marine veteran, and he runs Trajan Wealth with the same focus, adaptability, and mission-first mindset he learned in the service. And just like football, preparation is everything. The market won't wait, but Trajan Wealth will be ready. Call Trajan Wealth at 407-213-0000 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
They say not all heroes wear capes. Well, that is certainly the case for my go-to real estate agent, Kevin Krager. When you're buying a home, who you work with matters a lot. That's why you need Kevin Krager with LPT Realty on your side. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings in deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, and cutting-edge real estate technology. But what is it that truly sets Kevin apart? Kevin's strong background in construction is second to none in the industry. He knows what to look for. You go on a walk with him through a prospective house of yours, you're going to get the most fundamental information about the foundation to the roof line. He is focused on protecting your investment every single step of the way. And then even after closing, his service doesn't stop there. Kevin is loyal to his clients. Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades, all at cost for those that buy through him. If you want a trusted guide who knows homes inside and out, Kevin Krager with LPT Realty is there for you today. Your future home will thank you.
RC Hill is helping adventurers like you upgrade into their dream rides by offering more for your old ATV, motorcycle, and side-by-side. RC Hill Honda Power Sports is all Honda all the time. Visit rchillhonda.com. Honda recommends ATVs for riders 16 plus and safety gear for all riders. Side-by-sides for drivers 16 plus. Offer ends August 31st, 2025.
Get Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like Whirlpool that can keep up with your busy routine. Whirlpool refrigerators from the Home Depot have the storage and ice capacity for everything from school lunches to stocking coolers for sports practice. Celebrate Labor Day with savings on select appliances at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 21st through September 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Progressive's teen driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's teen driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Orlando.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you've worked so hard for, but it's also a danger to your family. Even children can be victims. It's not their money thieves go after, obviously, but their social security number. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off your new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Hey there, Central Florida, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Thursday night forecast. After those storms that popped up earlier on today start to settle down, we're going to be left with mainly clear but mild and muggy conditions. Temperatures tonight bottoming out throughout the mid and upper 70s. And as we take a look ahead to your Labor Day weekend, we are seeing those rain chances amp up. Widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday afternoon. Highs throughout the upper 80s. Have a great night.
Need better sleep? This Labor Day weekend, upgrade to premium sleep at Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Let their sleep experts match you with the perfect bed and get the rest you deserve. They make sleep easy.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Touchdown, Florida State!
Touchdown, FSU!
Let's hope we hear that a lot this year. Let's welcome in the radio voice of the Florida State Seminoles, our good friend Jeff Colhane. You can listen to Jeff call the FSU games in Tallahassee at FM 96.5 The Sphere, in Jacksonville, I believe at WOKV 690, in Orlando right here at AM 810 Fox Sports Radio. Jeffrey, how are you this afternoon?
I know it's a little. You're getting used to that line, aren't you, Bulldogs? Right. I mean, you're in the afternoons now with Kravitz, and I for one am happy for you. You can now sleep in past 4:30 in the morning, which is a good thing. And I know Kravitz is going to give you as hard a time as possible in the afternoon. So I'm loving it, loving the show, boys. Been trying to listen as much as I can every day up here in Tallahassee, and looking forward to talking college football with you all season long. Great to be on with you.
All right, let's talk about the big game on Saturday. Alabama coming into the Doak. Give us what can Florida State do to win this game? What do they need to do to win this game?
Well, look, I know Alabama's favored in this game. I don't believe Florida State has to play a perfect game to win. I think Florida State has to play well, obviously, to win this contest, but I don't think that it's a game where FSU has to go out and have this miraculous performance. I mean, certainly coming off of last year, that's left a awful taste in all Noles fans' mouths collectively. But 49 newcomers on this squad this year, 21 seniors. You've got upgrades in the coaching staff with Gus Malzahn calling the plays, Tony White, who I think is one of the bright defensive minds in college football. I think he's going to be a head coach somewhere one day, guys, and that's an upgrade there. It's allowed Mike Norvell to assume a CEO role in different areas and make his way around and focus on things that he needs to focus on a day-to-day basis. And so on the field, Alabama is still Alabama. I mean, there are a lot of things about this Alabama football team coming in that are tremendous. I mean, they're going to be great along the line of scrimmage, great up front. I think their secondary is solid with the returning players they have there, and they've got a great group of wide receivers. But one of the big storylines for them is Ty Simpson is making his first career start inside of Doak Campbell Stadium, and a Doak that is back to full capacity with the renovations complete here. So, Tony White's defense, can they get to Ty Simpson early in the game? I would imagine Ryan Grubb, who returns to be Kalen DeBoer's play caller after a year off a season ago, will try and take as much pressure off of Simpson as he can early in the contest. Fascinating storylines across the board, to say the least.
Jeff, have you dealt much with Gus Malzahn? I happen to think he's going to help significantly improve Florida State's offense. Of course, it needs to significantly improve after last year, but I think Gus Malzahn's going to work wonders up there. What have been your insights on him?
Yeah, we've had some communication over the last few months. I would not say that we have connected on a daily basis, but yes, we've been able to talk football a little bit. And like you, Mike, I think this is something for Gus at this point in his career where he wants to focus on calling plays and coming in from UCF, where he still had tremendous offenses, even if the win-loss record the last couple of years was not what he would have liked or UCF fans would have liked at the end of the day. Gus Malzahn's known for offense. He's one of the bright offensive minds, period, in the history of college football. And for him, this is just another game. I mean, he has had success against Alabama and had success versus Nick Saban defenses while he was the head coach at Auburn and the OC at Auburn back in 2010. So this isn't something that, is a huge challenge to him. I mean, obviously it's going to have challenges across the board, but he's been there and done that during his time coaching college football. And so I agree with you. I'm very interested to see what he draws up now that he is just a play caller and he doesn't have to worry about the other stuff and have the other things pulling at him that a head coach does. He gets to focus on his offense and putting guys in positions to go out and score points. And that's what he's known for. And, man, I am, Bulldog. I'm fascinated to see this game plan against Kane Wommack's defense at Alabama, who struggled to stop the run a year ago. They gave up nearly 138 yards per game on average. That's the highest amount since the Mike DeBose era back in 1998 for Bama. So there's your nugget, Bulldog, right there. How do you like that one?
Wow.
Jeff Culhane, Florida State play-by-play voice on with us here. It's an absolute pleasure to chat with you, Jeff. I've heard your appearances on Open Mic for years, and now to have you on the afternoon show is an absolute pleasure. And you're right, I'm going to give Mike I'm going to give it to him every single day. Don't you worry about that, Jeff. What is expected to be the star units of FSU? There's so many question marks around this team, but is there any unit, defensive line, secondary, wide receivers, where you say, no, I know this team is going to be really good in this area?
Yeah, in a lot of that discussion, we're honestly going to find out together, Brandon. We really are. But I will tell you that I'm excited about Florida State's new wide receivers with their capability, and I'm also excited about Florida State's secondary that has talent, it has speed, it has athleticism, it has depth. And let's start with the wide receivers and begin with Squirrel White, who's a Tennessee transfer, and he's kind of got a little bit of that. Some folks compare him to Rashad Green. He's a little smaller than Rashad Green, who, of course, is going to be inducted into the Florida State Athletics Hall of Fame coming up in a few weeks overall. But Squirrel White out of Tennessee is a young man that had great success against Alabama during his time with the Vols. He had a career-high 10 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown at Bama in 2023, and he has the seventh most receptions all time in Tennessee football history with 131. Then he entered Deuce Robinson, who's 6'6", 223 pounds. His dad, Dominic, played for Bobby Bowden from 2001 to 2004. He had 23 catches and 5 touchdowns a year ago for USC. Now he's in the Garnet and Gold. And a name that a lot of folks in the Orlando area and along the Space Coast will recognize, obviously, is Javen Boggs. He's going to play, guys. 6'1" freshman out of Cocoa. This guy's accolades speak for themselves. 378 receiving yards in the state semifinals a year ago, Florida high school record. He was named Mr. Football in the state of Florida his junior year, beating out, obviously, an unbelievable talent in Jeremiah Smith for that award a couple of years ago. So Javen Boggs is going to be a guy that plays for Florida State and will contribute. And then in the secondary, this is a big matchup. It's the key to the game. And I think Alabama's wide receivers, you could argue, are the best group in the country, with Ryan Williams, with Jeremy Bernard. They also have brought in a transfer from Miami in McCoy. And so they have got a group of guys that are very, very solid across the board and have done phenomenal things. And so Florida State secondary with Jerry Wilson, the Kissimmee native from Osceola High School, who started out his career with Tony White at Syracuse. Jabril Rawls from Pensacola is going to get his chance to make some plays at corner. KJ Kirkland, Ashland Barker at safety. And then Earl Little Jr. is going to find that rover position in Tony White's 3-3-5 defense, one that he kind of fits into as a physical player in the secondary who can also cover in space. So, Florida State's back end against the wide receivers of Alabama, look out. That is a key to the game on Saturday.
Jeff Culhane, we can't wait to hear you call the game on Saturday. We appreciate you joining us. You'll be joining us every Thursday, hopefully throughout the football season. So thank you so much, my friend. We'll be listening on Saturday.
Guys, great to talk to you as always. I appreciate it.
Jeff Culhane, the voice of the Seminoles. Straight ahead, we want to hear from you, your text, your talkbacks. Who's the most hated figure in your favorite team's history? Text those in 50857. We'll read some of those texts and play some of those talkbacks next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
It's the Bulldog. 50 years ago, Don Mealy moved his family from Maryland to Central Florida and started selling trucks. Today, his son Jay runs Don Mealy Chevrolet, and he still treats his customers like family. Jay even gives you his own personal email address. And right now, you can save up to $11,000 on a brand new 2025 Chevy Silverado. They've got over 50 in stock, all the models, 1500s, 2500s. I want the 3500 HD myself. It's ready for work. It's ready for play. It's ready for both. The Silverado is built to last, and so is the Mealy family. Don Mealy Chevrolet has been Central Florida's trusted truck dealer for half a century. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Are you tired of cookie cutter barber shops and sterile salons? Yeah, me too. At Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys, they believe that today's extraordinary man like yourself deserves more than just a haircut. Now picture this: premium grooming services in a space that's actually built for men. No pedicure fumes, no take a number chaos, just expert care, craft cocktails, large TV screens. The last time I went in there, had my feet kicked up, getting a manicure, watching SportsCenter. It was awesome, because when it comes to men's grooming, they don't just cut corners, they redefine the whole experience. At Hammer and Nails, come as you are and leave as you want to be.
Roadways are busy this afternoon, and so are emergency crews clearing up a couple accidents in the area on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at Sprint Boulevard, I-4 westbound just past US 27. The right lane's blocked there. You might run into some slowdowns. There's an earlier accident getting cleared up on Aloma Avenue near Severin Boulevard. Multiple lanes are blocked on State Road 46 eastbound at Orange Boulevard. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Thrivent.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Let's talk about Pizza Bruno. This place is top knots. I mean, not. Sorry, I can't get the garlic knots out of my head. You want meatballs, you want salads, you want fresh ingredients in every single mouth-watering bite. Pizza Bruno is your spot. Try my personal favorite, the spicy Stetson, crunchy pepperoni, big dollops of ricotta cheese, and hot honey. It is so good. 3 locations in Central Florida, Edgewater, Maitland, and on Curry Ford Road. Visit PizzaBrunoFL.com and work up an appetite.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeartRadio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our Cigar of the Week. And this week's Cigar of the Week is legendary over at Corona Cigar. It's the Corona Nicaraguan 20th Anniversary FSG Robusto. It was their very first exclusive factory direct cigar, and it has been one of their best sellers for years. And it's simple. Here's why. Premium quality, consistent. It's a great tasting cigar at a great price. It's a combination of FSG tobaccos, Nicaraguan tobaccos, and what you get here is a beautiful cigar, really nice and medium, very approachable. One of my favorite golf course smokes out there is this Nicaraguan 20th Anniversary. I've smoked so many, only $119 a box. That's 33% off retail, so grab it now. It's the Corona Nicaraguan 20th Anniversary FSG Robusto, and it is your Cigar of the Week. Thanks so much for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown, Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you better have a lawyer who understands the traffic rules for big trucks.
And a lawyer who can navigate the hundreds of laws that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Orlando.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 9/13. Plus, save more with the Easy Rewards program only at Staples.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Did you miss that interview with a guest on the beat of sports? Here's a snippet from Mark Daniels' interview with
Jacob Feldman from Sportico and the NFL's new technology. What is the future, the next 2, 5, 8 years to advance this technology? What else is the NFL looking at that we may see become common in broadcast and in stadiums in years to come?
Yeah, so this is what's really interesting. So they're using 6 cameras for this new line to gain technology. So every 15 yards or so, you've got one of these fancy cameras lined up to be near the ball at any point on the field. They're using 12 more cameras along the boundaries and the sidelines, which will be used for that punt measurement as well as close plays. I think it was a Buccaneers game last year where there's a fumble on near the goal line and it was kind of unclear. So they're going to have cameras for that. So that's 18 cameras that are going to be new this year that are going to be used for these specifications. And then there are 14 additional cameras, so 32 total. And what that 32 camera system is going to do is basically recreate every player a skeleton in a digital environment. So it's measuring 29 points on each player, so their knees, their shoulders, their elbows, their wrists. And what they're testing is, okay, if we had this kind of data and we could look at it from any angle essentially, and we could time it up with any camera, can we measure, if the ball was down, if the elbow was down before the ball came out? Can we measure if very quickly could we say, okay, the quarterback was out of the pocket, that ball made it past the line of scrimmage, check, next play, rather than having that huddle of referees and conferring and looking at a replay. Those are the kinds of things, again, that I think people have been wondering for a long time, why can't we solve this problem? We've seen tennis and some other sports go to full digital officiating. And football is just very complicated, again, right? You have all these bodies piling on top of each other. You can hardly see the ball sometimes. And the ball is not round, unlike almost every other sport. And so those are the things they're going to be testing, seeing how good this technology is for the complicated world of NFL football. And I think within 3 or 5 years, we could definitely see a lot of those advancements coming to Sundays.
You can catch the full interview with this guest and all other interviews as well as full show podcasts on our website at 969thegame.com. Just search for the beat of sports. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. The UCF Knights are heard here. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
This segment right here brought to you by Burn Pest Control. Joe's team doesn't just treat the pest problem, they solve it. Keep your home protected from the bugs all year long with Burn Pest Control. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz and Mike Bianchi sent you by. Get 10% off your initial service. Go and check them out, burnpest.com. Text in 50857. You can also hit us on the iHeartRadio talkback. Jaden, if we have the one that I know rolled in the first hour, we can go ahead and get that played here before we wrap up the segment. We are asking the question, what is your team's most hated rival, individual? I have some thoughts on this. Are we going? So I think people somewhat misinterpreted this, or
I did too.
A lot of people are texting. We were thinking about teams inside of the state. We're getting texts about the Buffalo Bills and Bill Lambier is the most hated Chicago Bulls rival. We're talking about your team inside the state of Florida, right?
No, it doesn't have to be inside the state of Florida.
Okay.
Just your team. Your team's most, like Jim Levitt of USF, I believe, is UCF's the most hated individual in UCF history. So, whether the Gators, you could say, I don't know, you could say Vince Dooley of Georgia, or, but he's not really hated. It's hard to, FSU, who would be Steve Spurrier would be FSU's probably.
Yeah, but I don't think
hated
that
figure.
in the past when Spurrier was coaching, but as time has gone along, Spurrier has become such a likable figure that I even think Florida State fans appreciate Steve Spurrier. I think Tim Tebow is the answer for Florida State.
No way. Nobody hates. You can't even say hate in Timothy Richard Tebow in the same sentence. Shame on you.
Come on.
Kravitz.
Florida
Shame
State,
on
Florida
you.
State fans hate Tim Tebow. It was the most miserable time in their rivalry, was quarterbacked by Tebow. And I believe,
If you were to say Urban Meyer, I would agree with that.
but I think you've got to put yourself not in the mindset of somebody who appreciates Tim Tebow. I know that this is very difficult for you, Mike, but a lot of people look at Tim Tebow as a phony or a goody two shoes, and somebody that's like, no way anyone's that good, especially Florida State fans. They don't look at him the way that you do, Mike. But he's the one that's on my list. I think for Florida, I would make an argument for Nick Saban, because his arrival at Alabama really spelled doom for the Florida Gators for years to come. And Florida fans hate him.
Yeah, but again,
not a direct rival.
Every school in the SEC would hate Nick Saban because he dominated the league so much. So, somebody just texting, Gators are my favorite team, but the Colorado Buffaloes are a close second. Further, Rick Neuheisel irks me more than Rick Neuheisel? Who hates Rick Neuheisel? Huh?
Rick Neuheisel. The name sounds. Where was Rick Neuheisel from?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
he seems like a West Coast guy to
Yeah.
me. Who would you say is Miami's the most hated individual in Miami?
They were actually the easiest one for me. I'm split between Lou Holtz and Jameis Winston for Miami fans, or the referees in the Ohio State National Championship game.
Yeah, the Phantom pass interference. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I have some not so serious ones for each of these teams. If I could run down my list. FSU's most hated rival is Dillard's. Florida's most hated rival is full length jeans. The Canes are the ACC championship, and UCF's is Twitter. I think those are the rivals.
I would say Twitter is one of UCF's most beloved figures because the UCF Twitter mafia makes such a good use of it.
Yeah, but they're also angry all the time.
Well,
it's an angry bunch. On the text line at 50857, someone said FSU fans hated Tim Tebow back then. So, back that up with one on the text line. Somebody said if you ask some NFL players, it might be Blake Bortles for UCF. Yeah, I don't know about that. That was a misinterpretation. Somebody texted in Justin Blackman of the Jaguars. Who hates Justin Blackman?
See, I think like we're getting like somebody texted in. I'm most hated Detroit Lions. Matt Patricia. We're not talking about guys who were just bad at their jobs.
But see, this is what I was talking about when we softly brought this idea up the other day, was that I think a lot of people are going to choose individuals that they hate from their own team. You tend to hate your own more than you hate somebody else.
Yeah.
It's the fine line.
Yeah. Broncos, Bill Romanowski. That's a good one. Now, everybody hated him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think most fan bases could nominate him. More Game On the way. Bet it or forget it. Up next, Bianchi makes me put my money where my mouth is. UCF home opener today. I'm sure we'll have something on that. Let's step aside. 60 seconds, Fox Sports Radio.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz is back. Time to see if they're ready to put their money where their mouth is. Let's get into another round of Bet It or Forget It.
Top of the 4 o'clock hour, the news segment daily, Bet It or Forget It, brought to you by the leader in peer-to-peer betting across social media, Better Edge. If you're going to take sports betting seriously, and if you listen to me, I have a feeling that you might, you need a second outlet that at least gives you a better option at some other numbers that are out there, money lines, sides, totals. At Better Edge, you can face your friends, you can face me, and you can create company-wide pools as well. BetterEdge.com, your go-to for social betting, and you can earn $20 upon your first arrival just by using the promo code BeatBrandon at sign-up. We're off early tonight, by the way, off at 5 o'clock due to UCF football's pregame show. UCF pregame gets started with Mark Daniels at 5 p.m., kickoff at 7. Cannot wait to kick back, relax, and enjoy this game. But right now, Prodigy, hit the music, and let's kick things over to the Bulldog.
It is time for the critically acclaimed, wildly popular game show, Bet It or Forget It. Let's start with UCF. UCF obviously playing Jacksonville State in the season opener tonight. UCF favored by 20.5 points. Bet it or forget it, Jacksonville State will easily cover that number. UCF will win, but not by 20.5 points.
Forget it. Forget about it. My favorite bet tonight is on the over, but if I was forced to take a side, I would be on UCF minus the points. There's a reason why the spread has moved 1.5 or actually 2 full points just in the last 24 hours. This thing was sitting at 16.5 over the summer. I've been staring at these numbers for a while, Mike, but UCF is a rightful favorite. Even with all of the question marks, there's just such a talent gap between the type of players that Scott Frost can bring in being a Big 12 school and the type of players that are coming in for a mid-level Conference USA team. Outside of the conference last year, Jacksonville State was 2-4. UCF out of the conference last year, 2-1. And they walloped the opponents that weren't the Florida Gators outside of the Big 12. 57 points against New Hampshire, 45 against Sam Houston. This is what UCF does. At home on a Thursday against a somewhat humpty opponent favored by 20, I think they are going to layeth the smacketh down here tonight.
I hope so. Had the New York Knicks offered their head coaching job to South Carolina women's coach Dawn Staley, who had a formal interview for the position, she said she would have taken it. Quote in a podcast, "I would have had to do it, not just for me, for women to break that door open," Staley said. The Knicks instead hired Mike Brown in early July to fill their head coaching vacancy. Kravitz, I've said for a long time, I think a woman would fare very well as a head coach in the NBA because a lot of NBA players come from one-parent homes where the mom does everything for them. They grow up listening to and respecting women as the authority figure. Bet it or forget it. Dawn Staley would have been a better hire than Mike Brown.
Bet it. I no disrespect to Mike Brown, but I've read that book before. I mean, this guy's been a head coach how many times around the league? And it always works the same way. They'll be pretty good, and then they'll peter out in the playoffs. Mike Brown teams, unless they have LeBron in their prime, have a very specific ceiling to them for whatever reason. He's a really good coach. He's very well respected around the league. I just never get excited about these retread guys. Try something different. I like the idea of bringing in Dawn Staley simply because, one, she's a phenomenal coach, regardless of her gender, but two, it's different.
Right.
Shock the system. You got away from Tom Thibodeau, who is just another version of Mike Brown. Just do something else. I appreciate.
I agree.
I don't fully agree with your theory about the single parent household and more respect for women and all of that. I respect where you're coming from. I like you're the only person I've ever heard say that. And I think it's a unique theory. So I don't want to crap on it. But I think part of if you want to go down that line of thinking, part of the reason why it works to have a male coach for the athletes that come from single parent households, and that doesn't speak for everybody, but for those that do, is because they would desire a father figure, and coaches are that for a lot of these guys. And I think that's one of the reasons that those relationships can work. Would it work the same if it's a woman? I think it's for some yes, for some no. It would ultimately come down to how good of a coach is she. Does she have the ear of her players? And it's a shame that she isn't that person for the Knicks, because I think she would be perfect. She's the perfect person to break the door down for women coaching in the NBA.
This next one is a sad story for me as a newspaper columnist. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the most reputable newspaper in the South, will end its print edition at the end of the year. The company, which has published in print since 1868, is shifting all of its resources to its digital news operation, according to the publisher, who said, and I quote, "The fact is, printing newspapers and putting them in trucks and driving them around and delivering them on people's front stoops has not been the most effective way to distribute the news in a very long time." End quote. Bet it or forget it. Kravitz, it's been over a year or more since you actually read a real newspaper.
Bet it. And I used to get the newspaper, and I always enjoyed that process of opening up the newspaper, looking at the standings in baseball, and reading maybe a story or two, and then throwing it in the trash or the recycling. I mean, I am a respectful member of the community, but it's just, I don't know. It doesn't jive with the routine of 2025 or 2024 or 2023. It's right. It just doesn't fit the lifestyle anymore. I think there's a charm to it, and for people that grew up with that, they're not going to let go of it unless they're forced to. But I think it's easy to let go of in today's digital world, unfortunately.
Follow up. Bet it or forget it. By this time next year, my newspaper, the Orlando Sentinel, and every major newspaper in the country will not offer a printed product.
Bet it. It really makes no sense when you think about it. So you have to have the printing capabilities. I'm sure that machinery ain't cheap to maintain or to obtain. Right. And then you have to have people that pack it. Then you have to have people that distribute it. And do you have enough people that read it in order to pay for all of that and turn a profit? And oh, by the way, you got to pay the Mike Bianchis of the world as well, who are writing the content that's inside of the newspaper. It doesn't sound like a business model to me that's printing money, pun intended.
They're paying less and less of the Mike Bianchis of the world in the newspaper industry, believe me. All right.
Well, it's good that you're a digital tycoon, Mike, so don't worry about it.
Orlando City fans feel they got robbed last night by Inter Miami, and the officials. Inter Miami wins the game 3-1 in the semifinals of the League's Cup. So Lionel Messi scored twice in that game. Orlando City, again, they thought that there was an obvious foul in the box against one of their players that was ignored by the referee. Not only that, but the Lions led the match until they were reduced to 10 men when David Brecalo was judged to have committed a foul inside the box. He receives his second yellow card. So Miami ends up equalizing the score right after that, and then they run away with it in the final 3 minutes. Bet it or forget it. Orlando City fans shouldn't complain about getting robbed, because it's better for the league as a whole if Messi and Inter Miami are in the League's Cup final, so more people will watch and the league will make more money. In other words, bet it or forget it. Orlando City should take one for the team.
Oh, my God. Forget it. Hit the button. Hit it again. Forget it. Hit it again. Forget it.
No.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Orlando City fans should just roll over and die because Messi's good for the bottom dollar. No, MLS sold its soul to the devil, and this is what you get for it. a bunch of cheaters. You get referee fanboys, and it screws over everybody else for the storied organization that is Inter Miami. Get out of here. MLS fans would punt Messi out of the league so fast if they were given the opportunity to. They hate the guy. He is a cancer to the league, as great as he is. He is.
He's a kid. Yeah, he's
Look at what's
salvation.
happened. No, he's not. It would be a salvation if they were on ESPN with Lionel Messi. They're stuck buried on Apple TV. You have as many people on Apple TV as you have reading a physical newspaper at this point. Get out of here with that. No way. You got anything else?
No, that is betted or forget it.
Forget that. My God. Coming up next, the fantasy guru himself, Jamie Eisenberg, will chime in on the 6-week absence of Rashee Rice. Emeka Egbuka, the rookie for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where should we be drafting him this weekend? We'll get to all of that on Game On after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
You know, right now, home buyers have the ball and the field is wide open. Nothing but green grass and white lines ahead of you. Rates are going down. More homes are on the market and sellers are more willing to negotiate. The Nickley Group is using that to your advantage, saving buyers thousands, negotiating rate buy downs, seller concessions, and even finding homes before they hit the market through